Hey guys, so there's something personal I've been keeping from you, something I feel like it's right to tell you, and I hope you guys just still accept me, and I don't know, I'm just rambling. I'm sorry, I'm just nervous. So what I wanted to tell you is I love Faze Clan. It's Faze Nation or die, baby. I've spent so much money on Faze merch. I have like 7 of these in my closet right now. They're all used. I would probably kill someone if they talk shit about Faze. Banks, please respond to my DMs. I know I confess my love to you 20 times, but it's okay, man. Just please just respond to one. You like Faze? Hey everybody, welcome back to another banger. Woo, Advil. Wow. So Faze Clan is a YouTube group that has been popular since virtually the beginning of esports, and recently they've gotten into a lot of controversy, which they do a lot. And if I'm being honest, I don't give a single fuck. I'm not talking about any of that. Why I decided to spend my effort and time into researching is Faze Clan's little sneaky business deals, little I don't know if I'm legally allowed to say this, but scams. They're all alleged scams. Don't sue me, banks. Check your DMs. So I'm assuming a lot of you are probably thinking to yourself, Advil, what do you mean by scam? Faze is a well-respected and loved Faze is a well-loved company. Faze is a company. They wouldn't scam anyone. Oh, you must be thinking of that Save the Kids thing. That was just K. That had nothing to do with Faze or Faze Banks. No, they're good. While Save the Kids was really funny, no, they actually have a lot more scams in their catalog, which involves Faze stealing thousands of dollars from their fans, involving themselves with a notorious scammer and doxer, and various other things. And let's start off with my personal favorite, and the one that I think is probably the funniest out of all of this, which is... So what is Starnet Eclipse? Well, Starnet Eclipse is Faze's game. The game was announced in 2015, and it was in collaboration with iCasual Entertainment, a games company that doesn't have any games. They're like the PlayStation, no games. So what happened? On January 26, 2015, Faze came out with a video titled, "We are making a video game." And in this video, they showed a trailer for the game and talk about it and say that they need your help to raise money. Since games are expensive, they need donations from the Faze squad. Face up, fellas. I'm one of you. They claimed that this game was going to be huge, was going to be better than COD, and was going to take over the trick-shotting scene. They did a bunch of call to actions. Even in the description of this video, they say, "Alone, we can do so little, but together we can create the best FPS game possible. Support Starnet Eclipse today." So it was obvious that they really desperately wanted money for this game. And people came out in droves to support. This game raised around $20,000 to help support it. Now, the assumption from hearing all that is probably this game came out, has a small but dedicated fan base, and it's kind of just coasting on the same amount of players since it released. That would be a great reality, but this video is about Faze scams, not the success of Starnet Eclipse. So if that didn't happen, then what did? This game got announced, raised a bunch of money, and the backers who supported it were promised a lot of different things. They were promised an alpha, they were promised merch for supporting, and the funny part is, none of that came out. I was actually mistaken. Starnet Eclipse did release an alpha for the game, and that's my bad. I should have had more faith in them. So let's check it out real quick to see how good it is. Oh no, that's not good. But to be fair, it is an alpha. It's kind of just a rough test of what the game is supposed to be eventually. I'm sure they eventually got it down pat, and we'll see that in the beta. What's that? There wasn't a beta? This is the only gameplay we're ever gonna see? Right, okay. They're fucked. So the alpha came out a few months after the game announcement, and after that, there was absolutely nothing. It got announced, they got backers, and then the backers got an alpha, and then after that, completely radio silent. A year later in 2016, Faze Rain did a video spurging out and losing his mind on people who said that they got scammed, even though there was no budging on anything in the game at all. He said that everyone making videos on them were just stupid and just using the Faze name for clout, even though that's not the case. People got an alpha, and then after that, they got nothing else. It seems like a scam. But Faze Rain reassured us that games take time and you didn't get scammed. It's just, it takes a while. So fans took that, waited another year, more years. There was not a word on a beta. There was absolutely nothing. And 8 years later, to this day, the game still hasn't come out. Kind of crazy that the beta never came out, considering that they said in the announcement video of the game that a beta was coming soon. They're almost done with it.
We actually have the, I think, pre-alpha or the alpha on our computer. They're gonna release the beta really soon.
And the reason why the game never came out is really fucking funny. I got to talk to some of the people who worked worked on the team, and apparently the game never came out. The sole guy who was owning it and running it switched computers, and he lost all the game files. They were just gone off his computer. Speaking of the owner, let's talk about him. The guy who created iCasual Entertainment and Starnet Eclipse is this guy named Jefferson Prince. He created the game company and the game when he was 17. They decided to trust him with $20,000 of their fans' money. A 17-year-old. Jefferson Prince is a quote-unquote tech prodigy and met the Faze clan at some gaming event, and they decided to help fund this game. Now, iCasual Entertainment is an Indian-based company, and they claim that they had 70 employees working around the clock, which isn't true. I'm assuming most of them were part-time or freelance. In actuality, it's probably around 25 employees around the clock, which still isn't bad. Jefferson, in the last couple years, has claimed the reason why the game hasn't come out. iCasual had stolen the game files from him, and he wasn't allowed to do anything. But don't worry, your investment's still safe with him. I might be stupid. I don't know much about game design or companies, but it's a bit weird for them to only steal the game files and not, I don't know, the money associated with it, or not do anything with it for 8 years. Because in my mind, you would assume that a company that would be willing to steal an entire property from someone would see the value of completing and finishing a game that had so much buzz around it, got promoted by a 3 million subscriber channel in 2015, which was a lot, and raised $19,000 in just a few months. You would assume that they would see the potential and try to finish that so they can get the bag. I think Jefferson just losing all the game files makes sense. He's now decided to completely redo the entire game by himself and start from square one for a couple years, and now he's quit. Now he's become some self-help guru. He's gone radio silent about working on the game, and I think all hope for him making any kind of improvement or even finishing the game is completely lost. And if you donated any money at all, Jefferson and Faze Rain have both promised separately to refund you. Faze Rain saying that he's going to give $20,000 of his own money to refund the people who have given money to the project.
I don't want anyone feeling cheated, and since it has taken a long time, I'm putting up $20,000 of my own personal money, and I want to just refund anyone that feels that they want a refund. If you want a refund from the game, I'm going to leave the $20,000 to the game so that they can continue to use it for their development. But if you want your money back, I am okay with putting up my money.
Even though, as far as I'm aware, majority of people still haven't gotten refunds. I've heard some people have, but a lot of people still, years later, haven't gotten a single penny back. Some people have given $100, maybe even $1,000, not a single penny back on their investment. And Jefferson in 2020 basically stopped replying to any news about Starnet, and all hope for the game or to get your money is completely lost. And that $20,000 of Faze's fans' money is now completely lost. Maybe it went to actually supporting the game, or maybe it went directly into Faze's pockets. We will never know. But to be fair, I can see how some people could ride this entire section off, because a lot of it is speculative. We don't even know what happened to the money, whether or not Faze kept it, or if Jefferson kept it, or if he just completely lost it. We have absolutely no clue. But Faze did do something where we definitely know they stole money from their fans, and we can kind of get a rough estimate of how much they stole. Let me tell you, it was a lot. What I'm talking about is now, some of you might be asking, Avil, what is CSGOWild? Well, it's a CSGO gambling site. And if you're unaware, CSGO gambling is where you take gun skins from the popular Steam game CSGO and you gamble them for a higher chance to win better skins, thus winning more money. The CSGO economy is crazy. It's better than some countries' economies, and you can make dummy money depending on what you roll. Just letting you know, CSGO gambling sites make a lot of money. And how do they do that? Well, let me set the stage. The best way to make a CSGO gambling site is with 4 easy steps. Step 1, research. Step 2, making a team. Step 3, designing your website. And step 4, advertising. For step 1, you need to find where are the most bullshit games that will make your player base lose as much money as possible, but still feel like they can win if they just bet one more time. Things like slots, roulettes, or any 1v1 system is perfect. Now, step 2, you need to find the lowest of the low people you can. People that are willing to steal and con thousands or even millions of dollars from people. More specifically, your fans. Now, step 3, design. This is honestly the easiest bit. You just need to have the most eye-catching things you can so you can lure in that Zoomer TikTok audience. And of course, step 4, advertising. The most tried and true methods are using currently popular CSGO or gaming creators. Ones that have particularly degenerate or younger audiences that can get their millions of of impressionable fans to spend all of their hard-earned money on your site. You're probably wondering, what does all this explanation have to do with Faze? Well, let's go back to CSGOWild. And yes, before you ask, I did change. I couldn't wear that dog shit anymore. It was $7. If you're not aware, CSGOWild is a CSGO gambling site that was advertised and promoted by pretty much everyone in Faze at the time of its creation. And without people knowing, they pulled a T. Martin and Syndicate. The owners of CSGOWild were a few people, but the main ones are Faze Banks, Faze Rain, and a guy named Vlad. Now, Vlad is very, very important to the story and the CSGO gambling story as a whole. But right now, I want to focus on CSGOWild. Now, CSGOWild was made around 2015, 2016, and to quote Faze Banks, the sole purpose of it being made was just to fund Faze's CSGO team.
My motivation for doing it actually was at the time we weren't making enough money to buy a CSGO team. All in, the venture was going to cost us like $1 million, and we definitely did not have anything close to that. So my brain, like we got to finesse it. We got to figure out how to make the money to buy this team.
Yeah, if you're not aware, Faze is like an actual esports team. At the time, they really wanted to have a CSGO team, but they were broke. So they made CSGOWild to try to siphon some funds from their fans so they could afford a CSGO team. And in 2016, they did get the CSGO team. It cost them $700,000 around. So that's real great. So to afford the CSGO team, Faze Banks, Faze Rain, and maybe Faze Adapt went to an offshore place, started CSGOWild with the help of Vlad. Now, Vlad is someone who's infamous in the CSGO gambling scene. If you can think of a CSGO scam, he's probably involved somehow. And he was behind them all the way. He ran everything. And Faze covered the advertising part. They had multiple million view videos with just them gambling. And I think it's really funny. One of Faze Adapt's videos, I won $60,000, is hilarious because at some points he loses pretty much all of his money and then randomly he gets it back and makes it seem like it's a website glitch.
Dude, I don't even know what the fuck just happened.
I lost, but
He lost, but he got money.
I lost, but I just won $7 grand.
Out of no, we don't even know how. I swear to God, this is so random.
It's really stupid. It's obvious that they're giving him money and helping him win the big wins. Now, the advertising campaign for CSGOWild was insane. Faze Rain and Faze Adapt were making videos pretty much every day talking about how much money that they won. It'd be videos like insane $8,000 bet, huge jackpot, stuff like that. Things that you would see on gambling ads. And I want to make sure this point is very, very clear. They pushed this site hard on their fans. They constantly, consistently, relentlessly even made sure they knew that CSGOWild was going to win you big like it did the Faze members, the Faze crew. And they would have videos collabing with every member of Faze. A bunch of people in Faze would be in these videos and gambling along with them. Hell, even when I was a kid, I used to gamble on CSGOWild because Faze did it, and they're epic for the win. And with all this advertising and all this promoting, Faze Bank claimed that CSGOWild was making upwards of $200,000 a day.
Through our rake and all this shit, we were making like $200,000 a day.
Before anyone tries to cope for them, this money wasn't coming from advertisers, wasn't coming from investors. This was coming from their fans. Who else would it be coming from? They promoted it so heavily to these kids. It wouldn't just be coming out of random. It's coming from their fans' pocket. Eventually, CSGOWild was found to be rigged and would scam the players by making bot accounts and betting against them, rigging the odds so that the bot accounts would win. It's what we call in the industry quite devious. Now, to be clear, majority of the gambling videos that Rain or Adapt made on CSGOWild are deleted for obvious fucking reasons. As soon as they got the slightest bit of backlash, they decided to jump ship and try to separate themselves as much as possible, but for some reason leave up the most viewed ones kind of makes sense. Now, there's one person I really want to talk about, probably the biggest scammer of all, and that is
something I don't understand. I know some guys from the roots of this shit who ain't congratulate me on grand.
Now, why would I call Faze Rain a scammer? He's been on a redemption tour. I mean, he's doing great, at least publicly. Well, let me tell you why. Faze Rain, for the past couple months, has been trying to parade around like he is a good guy. Like he is for the people. Like he is here to help support Faze and the OG Faze fans, which isn't true. Faze Rain might care deeply about the company, about the people, about whatever. But if you've seen in the past couple of examples I've given you, he really does not give a shit about his fans. Pretty much everything everything, whether it be Starnet Eclipse or CSGOWild or any of the countless other scams that I didn't even cover, can directly point to Faze Rain. And he has responded to a lot of the allegations, but the ones that he has either completely misrepresented or completely ignored are Starnet Eclipse and CSGOWild. And let me show you those right now. Now, a lot of the information for this section is going to come from two sources. One, a response that Faze Rain did to another video that blew up talking about some of Faze's misdeeds. And the second, an interview that Faze Rain did with Atozi. Now let's go in sequential order. So first, let's talk about his response to Starnet Eclipse. Honestly, isn't a lot. In the first source, he blatantly brushes past the entire section that guy did on Starnet Eclipse and ignores it completely. And the second one, Starnet Eclipse isn't brought up once in the entire interview with Atozi. So I think all hope is lost completely for anyone to give a fuck on Faze about Starnet Eclipse anymore. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes with CSGOWild. The video titled The Truth, which is most concise response towards the CSGOWild thing. I'm gonna try to summarize it best I can, just so it doesn't bog down the video too much. Faze Rain's main defense is that he did not own the company. He did not own CSGOWild, and he was just a dumb kid who liked gambling. He's an 18-year-old, you know, he didn't know any better.
I was also younger. I was 18 years old. I didn't know any better. I just enjoyed gambling. I didn't really see it like that.
I'm 18 and I wouldn't be doing that fuck shit. The main reason why I'm calling out Faze Rain isn't because he might have owned CSGOWild. That would be scummy in its own right. But the main reason I'm calling him out is because he, one, was heavily involved with the production and creation of CSGOWild, and two, pushed it extremely heavily to his child audience who he knew were children. Now, he did say, maybe that wasn't a good idea. No shit. The main criticism isn't that you might have owned it. That's fucked up if you did, but the main criticism, at least to me, is that without you and the rest of the Faze members' heavy advertising, CSGOWild would be nothing. You could have made this website not promoted at all, and that would have been 10 times better than you not owning it, but being this heavily involved and still promoting it heavily, non-stop to your child audience. The worst section of this entire video is Faze Rain's response to, he might have ruined some people's lives by either getting them addicted to gambling or people spending way too much money on CSGOWild since there was zero regulations on there. His response was, dude, how could you say that I could have ruined someone's life? If I did, I haven't gotten a single DM about it. All my DMs are positive.
Okay, then why do my fans mention me only positive things every single day? If I ruined anybody's life, why is a fan never, ever, but not a single time ever has a fan been like, bro, you scammed me, you fucked me over on this, you never. You think I scam people? Like, it's crazy. These, like, they just want to paint you a certain way.
That's like the Nestle company asking why they're getting sued for poisoning water holes if they haven't gotten a single message from the African tribes that they're stealing from. Dude, they would have told us, I promise. And it's funny because there were multiple tens, maybe even hundreds of messages directed towards Faze Rain on Twitter about Starnet Eclipse. I know it's not the same thing, but those are definitely not positive messages. They're asking for their money back. They're asking for refunds. They're asking for all this stuff. Completely ignored. And this was like years ago even. And I guarantee he has a lot of DMs of angry people talking about their investment to CSGOWild. Now, I'm sorry this bogs down a bit, but I'm going to show you the entire first section of Faze Rain talking about CSGOWild in the Atozi interview. The reason I'm doing this is I think it illustrates a lot of the issues, at least with me, about Faze Rain's response towards CSGOWild. So I'll show you that real quick.
How did the whole CSGOWild thing come up then?
At that time, our old CEO who actually ended up scamming us, I'll tell the whole story, but he ended up scamming us, stealing from us, lied to us, manipulated everything you could think of. The one piece of advice he did give me was don't own that, don't have any sort of equity with that company. Just in case you don't want to be attached to it like that. You don't want any of that. So he told me that because I didn't know at the time. I was like, yeah, I guess like me and Banks are going to do promo. Y'all are going to set it all up. Then yeah, I guess we'll own some of it in the beginning. Then he told us not to. He said it's a very bad idea. You don't want to be associated like that. Just promote it as like, you know, simple as you can. So he gave me that advice. 100% what I did, and he's right for that for sure, because look at how that age.
This shows exactly what I'm talking about. He could plead ignorance as much as he wants, but pretty much every single angle was telling him this is not a good idea. He had to fly to a different country to create a gambling website for his child audience to consume. And then his CEO came up to him and said, hey, you should not have ownership of this because it's most likely to go bad. If your CEO comes up to you and says, hey, you should do this, but you just should not be like associated, you shouldn't own it because it could go bad really fast. So you can get in some serious trouble. Your first thought should be, that's fucking weird. Given all the context clues, it's probably not a good idea to continue this investment. Not money, money, money. I love to gamble. I love money. I'm a douchebag. He was given every single ability to understand that maybe this is not a good idea, and maybe this could go really bad for me really fast. No matter if you're 18 or fucking 15, it does not matter. You should be able to see the context clues and assume that this is probably a really bad idea to do this, and it's probably morally and maybe legally unethical. The rest of what Rain says in this interview about CSGOWild is that he's upset. He got scammed by Faze and they stole his money and he put it all in his CSGO team and he didn't get paid back until last year.
All the money that the website made after cost, I got nowhere near that, by the way, but nowhere near that. I made $300,000 out of it, which I immediately took that money and I put it in the Counter-Strike team. So I bought half of the Counter-Strike team with that money. Faze never ended up paying me that money back till last year. I did that in 2015. Till last year, I didn't get it. I went to the IRS, which is hilarious because they didn't want to pay me for so long. And I asked for years and years and years, even when we had the money, but they just wouldn't pay me. So that's, that's another thing. We'd rather just pay out all the other first. I get it.
Dude, you got paid $300,000. He's making it seem like he got paid $5 for doing this whole entire thing. Out of everyone in this entire situation with CSGOWild, you're the one who benefited the most. You got paid $300,000. You got a CSGO team for the organization that you helped start, and you got multi-million view videos that you probably got paid a bag for from YouTube. You did not lose at all in this. I don't understand this thought process at all. And the last thing I wanted to leave you guys with is this part of the Atozy interview.
I want to be a constant positive force.
Piper than Williams, middle son. Since I was a little one, moms had to put me on the Ritalin.
Now, to end off this video, I think Faze Rain is probably one of the worst creators in Faze. Not based off his videos or his merits or what he's done for the company, based off his principles and how he responds to controversy. He's someone that constantly talks about how, hey, believe what you want to believe.
My mother's life, you can believe whatever the fuck you want to believe.
That's all that matters, that you're in a good mood. But as soon as there's any type of backlash towards him or against what he says, he freaks out. He has a big freak out. It doesn't matter if what you said was big or small, or if you're big or small, he will have a visceral reaction to even the slightest bit of criticism. He likes to pretend that he's zen, chilled out, and that he's done nothing wrong. Everything that he's done wrong was in the past. He's just a young kid. That was a decade ago, which is kind of true. It was a while ago, but you still haven't owned up to any of the actions or any of the stuff you've done. The only way to put your past behind you is to own up to it. And the most you've done is say, maybe I shouldn't have scammed kids. Yeah, no shit. Anyways, that's it for your boy, Advil. And I hope you guys liked this video. It was a bit scrapped together, but I still think it was all right. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Breakfast with a bitch named Tiffany, Wrist gave me stint cause it's ivory, Got your mommy with me now, irony, Trying to pipe my dentist, fake a cavity, What? I got my panties up, and you withdrew. I got my panties up, and you withdrew. I got my panties up, and you withdrew. I got my panties up, so I'm the center of attention.